Welcome back to the Travsessed podcast. We're your hosts, Kim and Aaron. We are healthcare travelers and the creators of Travsessed. Travsessed provides on-the-clock, off-the-clock resources for healthcare travelers, on the clock being our course, Travelers School, and this podcast, and off the clock being Travsessed Adventures, where you can join like-minded people from the healthcare traveler community and take some epic trips that we plan, host, and lead around the world. With that being said, today is Tuesday. It is another Traveler Quick Tip. We are back on the mic, back on a schedule, and ready to bring you another episode. So here we go.
Flight crew, please prepare for departure.
Okie dokie, artichoke. We're back.
We're back. We're in West Virginia.
Yep.
You can go listen to like the last two podcasts, the Thursday podcast, kind of updating about our move from Florida, and now we're in West Virginia. Aaron's about to take a contract, or he starts his new contract on Monday. I'm still currently looking for something. So we get into all of that on those episodes. But today we're going to talk about flexibility in finding a contract, because I think this is super important, especially if you are in a field that is, I don't even want to say oversaturated, but that has
saturation.
Yeah, like for ultrasound, you know, there's a lot of traveling sonographers. Where IR, there aren't as many. And so Aaron's bill rates are higher. Places are willing to work with him more because there aren't as many, where sonographers are kind of like a dime a dozen right now in the traveling world.
In the traveling world, absolutely. And I think that just kind of led us to, especially if you're a new traveler, you know, and this would also branch out for any modality. You know, the more pickier you are about location, what you're willing to work, where you're willing to go, what hours you need, what hospitals you're looking for, what type of workflow they have, the more things you add into that picky-ish category or more specific category, the harder it is going to be to find that contract, that perfect contract.
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation you're in, right? So if you're somebody who's looking for a contract, you want to land something now, you want to know where you're going, you want to lock something in and get to work, like you don't have that much leeway with your timing, then you want to just be as open and as flexible as possible. Your chances of landing a job are going to be so much higher when you are just open to wherever you're going, open to the shift, open to whatever. You're going to land a contract a lot faster. That's just the way that it goes. And you can absolutely be pickier. Maybe you only want to go to California or Colorado, or you don't want to work nights, or, you know, you don't want to take call, which is very rare. But if that's the case, that's okay too. But just know that it can take you so much longer to lock in something that's going to be more specific. So you just have to have your expectations in order.
No, totally. And I think, you know, nothing in healthcare traveling is black or white. And so that doesn't mean that you have to take a very low contract just because, you know, you can still weigh out the options of the bill rates and seeing, like, you know, what's out there and what's going to be good for you, and not setting yourself up for, you know, a disaster of a contract, being that you're not, you know, getting paid what you think that you should get paid. And so there is that level. We're not saying just take anything that's on the docket for you. It's just a matter of understanding that the more flexible you are, the faster you're going to be able to find a contract. And that, you know, also depends on what companies you're working with. How many direct contracts do they have? Because, you know, if you're going to get submitted into a pile of 100 different sonographers and your company doesn't have a direct contract with that facility, then your recruiter has no way of even, you know, suggesting to the account manager that you get an interview. So there's just a lot of different little nuances, flexibility, and understanding what company you're working with can get you a contract faster.
Yeah. And even just as an example, you know, we're in West Virginia and I'm really looking for a contract because we both want to work this time. And so I'm kind of open. Like I even said, I'll work nights, which is something I never really do. I've done it once. I said I would never do it again, but I'm open because it's like it's 10. It'll be 8 weeks by the time I can actually start. So I'm open for that because I just want something. I want to make the money. I want us both to be working. That's more important. So I'm going to be flexible about where or like what the hours are and all of that. Where usually I'm way more picky about things. How much is how much call do I have to take? What are the hours? Oh, it's varied shifts. Oh, I don't want to do that. And so that will limit my options for what's available to me. But in this case, I'm kind of like, whatever, I'll just take something that works, honestly, that's close by. And there's been a lot of jobs actually that's popped up around us that would have been perfect fits. But my issue I'm running into now is that we're leaving for Bali in the beginning of January, so my timing is off. So I would have to find a contract that would be willing to allow me to work really only 8 weeks and then come back, like take a month off, go to Bali, and then come back and like finish out my contract or stay longer if they needed me. And so that's very specific. And so my chances, I just got submitted for 2 more jobs today that again would be perfect. And had I not needed this special time, I know I would have landed one of these jobs. They're direct contracts. They're great for my skill set. Like they would have been perfect. But because I have this, request for this timing thing, my chances of landing something are going to be a lot smaller.
Totally. And I think,
unfortunately.
I just remembered, just for our own, you have to tell them about Friday, Thanksgiving Friday.
What do you mean?
Because I got that day off.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to request that off. Like, I feel like to put context around the people who are listening. Like Aaron wanted to go down to Atlanta for his family. They're all getting together for Thanksgiving and also to celebrate Nana, who had just passed away this year. And so it's something like we really wanted to do. And so again, if you're requesting time off and they are like, well, I really needed you to work Thanksgiving or take call, again, that can really hinder you from taking a contract over or getting the contract over somebody who's like, I'll work whatever, I don't need any time off. But where Aaron is, they've agreed to give him that time off, which is awesome. And they've been so flexible and easy with him, where for me, if I put in requesting, not only do I need this month off, but
That's true.
I also need Thanksgiving weekend off, my chances of getting a call for an interview are probably going to be slim.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So it's like you really do have to weigh that stuff out where, if it wasn't this type of situation where we both really wanted to work and we weren't on this time limit thing, I'd be like, yeah, I'll request that time off and maybe they'll give it to you, maybe they won't. But if they don't, then whatever, you'll find something else. But this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. But anyways, I think that was just kind of the point. Is just always keeping that in mind. Evaluating your situation. Where are you at? Do you have time to waste? Like that you can wait for something better to come along? Or are you like, no, I really want to lock something in now? And just keeping yourself open, keeping yourself flexible. Get your foot in the door, especially if you're new. Kind of just taking something, get the ball rolling. And just kind of stay open.
Because that is something also that's affecting is, again, if you're new to traveling and there's a bunch of sonographers, especially if you are a sonographer, don't get discouraged about your first contract because it could take a little bit of time. So, ride out your full-time job until something really is promising and then put your time in and leave because of the fact that it could take a little bit longer due to the fact that a lot of, places that we have been seeing want travel contracts within a certain amount of time, and especially if you're new to start, there's just so many other travelers out there that have been traveling for a while. And so just not getting discouraged, but just knowing that there are a bunch of jobs. Like for instance, there was 283 jobs posted today on Aya. And that was just ultrasound. And so, there's a lot of jobs out there, but like I said, if you're new or have, really flexible or, needing a lot of different things, just know that it could take a lot more time to get that contract.
Yep, I think that's it.
That's it.
All right, we will be back next week with another traveler quick tip. And have an awesome week, and we'll see you later.
Bye.